What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of High Mythology, the show where we get higher than the tip of Haleakala and tell you guys some stories from classic mythology and folklore. Tonight, we are getting Hawaiian a little bit late. I know for a company called Howley Boys, we sure have taken our time to do anything Hawaiian. Sorry about that, everybody. There will be more, hopefully, in the future. But, yeah, go ahead and take it away, Kim.
Yeah, this one's for you, babe. Just because, like you said, we haven't tried any of them before. And you know what? I'm going to blame you because you could have at least, steered me towards the Hawaiian side, too.
Yeah, it's totally my fault. I haven't even told you.
What
I
to do.
seen the
I
look on
literally
you and Jeff's face when I told you guys about Maui earlier, and you were like, what?
I
It's
literally
like,
just
told you
find
that.
stories and I'm like, oh, this sounds like fun. Let's do these. Okay.
Mhm.
So this one's called The Legend of Kamalo and the Shark God. So, long ago on the island of Molokai lived a high chief named Kupa and one of his high priests named Kamalo. Kamalo had two sons who both had incredible courage and accomplished many daring feats. Kupa had a house constructed in the Mapulehu Valley. I try. Which led to the harbor. And Kamalo's temple was located nearby in the village of Kalua'aha. 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 Which faces the channel between Molokai and Maui. Okay. So inside Chief Kupa's temple were two very special drums, and he used these drums to communicate to all his priests on the island. And the priests were able to hear them over great distance.
Fuck yeah. Just kicking some wicked drum jams.
Mm-hmm. So, what it doesn't really explain in the story is that his house and his temple, Kupa's chief, his shit's like right next door to each other.
Nice.
Or they're pretty much one and the same. Anyway, one day Kupa went on a fishing trip, and Kamalo's son wanted to see the drums for themselves. They entered the chief's home and marveled at the magnificent drums.
Did you touch my drum kit?
Nice. Just rub his balls on it. Wow. They grew up with their father's way of the temple and knew that things sacred to the gods were not to be touched. But curiosity got the better of them, and the two brothers started drumming away. When the chief returned home, he heard about what happened and became furious. He killed the two boys and presented their bodies at an altar as a sacrifice.
Shouldn't have fucked on his drum set, man.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't mess with someone else's drums. They probably broke one of the sticks, too.
Chipped it.
Chipped a stick.
Mm-hmm.
Dicks.
When Kamalo learned the fate of his sons, his heart became heavy with bitterness and obsessed with revenge. He knew he was no match to face Kupa and win, so he consulted with all the prophets and seers of Molokai. But all of them were afraid of Kupa and would not help Kamalo. Kamalo was starting to lose hope that someone would help him. He came upon some cliffs that overlooked Kalawa'o. Even though that's actually how you spell it all the way out, but I just put little dashes because I didn't fucking know. It made sense. Kala'awa. And Kaluapapa.
So cute.
At the bottom of the cliffs was the Ha'u temple, who was devoted to the shark god. Kauhuhu. I believe is the shark god's name. Kahuhu. Kamalo scaled down the cliffs and met with the priest of the temple that was below. The priest pointed his finger into the ocean near the cliff wall and told Kamalo that he must enter the shark god's cave if he wished for an audience. So, Kamalo dove into the water and found this cave. He entered the cave and swam upwards as the tunnel directed him. The cave led him to an underwater tavern, and when Kamalo got above the water, he gasped for air and is met with 2 guards standing at the entrance. Kamalo explains his story to them, and winning the guards' sympathy, the guards explain that in order to not be eaten by the shark god, he needed to hide in a nearby rubbish pile and wait for Kahuhu to arrive on the 8th wave. And soon enough, the waves started to rush inside the tavern, and the 8th wave filled the tavern for just a moment, and then the water descended back into the ocean. But there stood the shark god, in his human form. Kamalo was silent and still in the rubbish.
Hiding in the pile of rubbish.
Yeah. But Kahuhu could smell that there was a human, so he quickly leapt upon Kamalo inside that rubbish pile.
Oh, shit. He could smell him through the trash.
Mm-hmm. Kahuhu opened his mouth to reveal sharp, shiny teeth, and Kamalo cried out for mercy and recounted his story.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
He described how he was turned away by all the prophets of the gods, and Kahuhu was his final hope. The shark god became overwhelmed with pity, and he decided to become Kamalo's kahu, or guardian, and punish Chief Koopa and his followers.
Fuck yeah.
Not just the chief, he's going to kill the followers
He's going to
too.
get him. He's a shark god.
Mm-hmm.
He's a bad motherfucker.
He told Kamalo to go back to his temple and carry his priest there to his temple in Kalua'aha. When they got there, the shark god's priest told Kamalo that they needed to construct a special fence and set up a sacred white tapa kapu staffs.
Yep.
Okay, I have no idea what the fuck that is. It doesn't say. They never told me. So
Yeah, I know Kapu was basically like keep out or don't go there. Basically like a Kapu was like a ward. Like if something's Kapu,
like Japanese wards and shit.
Well, no, if something
No.
was Kapu, it's like you don't do that or you don't go there. So like if I said like like eating tapatio is Kapu, that means you don't do it. You're not allowed to do it. And then the same goes for like places. You can say it for places too.
Mm.
And it
My
implies
vagina
like that
is
place.
kapu. No. I'm sorry.
Brah. Wait.
You're so slow today. Come on,
So
Jeff.
slow on the buttons.
So he needed to construct a special fence, set up the sacred white tapakapu staffs, and then they needed to collect 400 redfish, 400 black pigs, and 400 white chickens.
That is a lot of creatures.
Mm-hmm. Then they would wait for the shark
and a
god
delicious party
to come. Yeah, it would be, right? And avenge Kamalo's sons. Kamalo did as he was told, and it took him only a couple of weeks. Then he was just waiting. Weeks and weeks. Weeks grew into months of waiting. And Kamalo never faltered his trust in the shark god. Then one day, a white cloud appeared, different than any he had seen before. It grew, and then it began to move, and it came across the channel and rested on the highest peaks, above the valley where Kapu lived. A magnificent rainbow appeared, spanning over the entire valley, and then suddenly the wind started to pick up, and the white clouds became black. Then thunder came, and heavy rain fell. It was the most devastating storm that the island had ever seen. The rain flooded down the mountain, destroying everything in its path. Koopa's temple, where the boys beat the drums, was torn apart, and Kapu and his followers were swept into the ocean. During the flood, the shark god's people were waiting in the bay, and they fed upon Koopa and the villagers until the harbor turned red.
Damn!
And the harbor was known as Keanahaki. It's an actual place, huh?
Yeah.
Or the man-eater.
I I think Aikanaka would be right.
Aikanaka. It was Kamalo's sacred fence that protected his lands and his home and his people. The end.
Shit.
The whole thing sounds fucking awful to me.
That's why you always build a good fence.
Right? But I guess their main lesson is don't fuck with someone's kids.
Yeah. Don't fuck with someone's kids. And if you're a kid, don't fuck with someone's drums.
Yeah, dude. And also the shark god. A man with shark teeth sounds like a horror story.
Yeah, he's a badass. I remember hearing some stuff about that.
Fucked up. Okay, anyway, so we're going to just jump into the next one. This one's called The Legend of the Hog God.
Oh, shit.
Kamapua'a was born at Kaluanui, which is part of the district of Hauula. Just laugh at me.
I know. We're going to need to get a Hawaiian on with us to actually
have them tell the stories.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So go on.
I'm trying my best, bitch. God. So they were on the island of Oahu, pretty much. Hang on. Gotta hit some more. He was a very powerful chief. Kamapua'a.
Kamapua'a.
Mm-hmm. He was a very powerful chief and a destructive monster. He was the hog god. Sometimes he had a hog's body with a human's limbs and head, and other times he had a hog's head with a human's body. And other times, while in full destruction mode, he was just a complete hog.
Damn.
He was endowed with superhuman strength and could shapeshift into anything he wished. He could also command the water and rain to obey him, and he traveled between the islands in a magical canoe, which became a small shell that he could tuck into his loincloth.
Fuck yeah. I want one.
One day, he voyaged to the southeastern point of Hawaii, to the Cape of Kumukahi. Anyway, Kumukahi. He walked over lava, through forests, over hills, and finally came to Akani Kolea. From here, he could look down into the Kalua Pele, where the goddess of fire lived with her people.
Oh, that's my girl.
One of Pele's girls looked up that night and saw Kamapua'a. He was playing a small hand drum and was dancing gracefully atop the hilltop. She thought that he looked like a fine man who could be a husband to one of them, and she begged Pele to call down to him, to the crater. But Pele scorned him because she knew how violent he was. So she sent
he's a big
clouds.
fucking pig. So he's probably in man form, though. And he's probably also just got a huge hog when he's in man form.
Oh. Nice. Nice and slow.
Nice and slow. Well, you put so far on it.
She knew how violent he was, so she sent down clouds of sulfur smoke and a stream of lava up towards him.
Sploosh.
But to her surprise, he brushed the lava away and blew away the smoke. He stood before them unharmed, and Pele was impressed and invited Kamapua'a down. After some time, the two reconciled, and then they got married. And for a while...
And one thing led to another.
Suddenly they were married and just banging for fun. Anyway,
A pig banging a volcano does sound pretty cool, though.
That does.
Just saying.
Give an interesting imagination. They lived together happily for a while as husband and wife, but the marriage could not endure. Kamapua'a had too many habits and instincts of a hog, and it
I like to roll around
displeased.
in my own shit.
and it greatly displeased Pele. She often quickly angered and the overbearing Kamapua would then burst into a fiery rage. At first, they disagreed with taunts and bitter words, but after a while, Pele was determined to destroy her tormentor.
Oh, shit.
She stomped on the ground, causing cracks to open up on the surface, and clouds of smoke and streams of something.
Streams of something came out.
Smoke and steam sprang forth.
Smoke and steam sprang forth
horrible.
and streams of smoke and steam.
Mm-hmm. But Kamapua's matched her powers. Pele sent a giant stream of flowing lava at him, and Kamapua called for the ocean waters to rise up. Pele was driven inland. Her husband was in hot pursuit, until at last Pele ran back to her spirit home.
She's a lava god?
She runs back to her spirit home in the pit of Kilauea.
Kilauea!
Okay. But Kamapua was not satisfied. He gathered the waters in a great mass and hurled them into the pit of fire. Pele responded with violent explosions, which tore open the sides of the crater and created the great masses of fire and smoke. The lava rose in the lakes and the mountains, while the hog god continued to throw water into the pit and to quench the flames. When Pele thought that she was about to drown, she called on the gods of the underworld for help, and fierce eruptions shook the pit once more. Terrible.
That's Kilauea too, because that's the active volcano in Hawaii too. Yeah.
I said it right? No.
you were so
so
close.
Off.
So Kilauea.
The attack was more than Kamapua could handle. As streams of lava poured out at him, he quickly transformed himself into a type of grass called Kua'epua, which is known to be able to divert the path of lava. It's an actual plant that grows on Hawaii.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
A grass, that's nuts. A grass that diverts. I didn't know that. I didn't know about that.
No.
Yeah, that's insane.
Okay, so Pele was so close to victory, it was right there. So Pele again asked for the help of the underworld gods, and with their strong reinforcements, more lava was piling up. The grass of the hog god began to burn, and so he rushed down into the sea. Pele followed close behind, throwing lava balls at him. When Kamapua made it into the ocean, he gave up the battle and admitted defeat. Pele divorced him, obviously.
Then she divorced him.
Let me beat the shit out of you legally and then divorce you.
That is a rough divorce to go through. That's a rough divorce to go through.
Oh, maybe in China. I don't know. Yeah.
A very rough divorce. I've actually seen a lot of people go through that same type of divorce. Except for typically you replace like balls of lava with like toasters and clothes. And you replace running to the sea with the bar. Yeah. I've actually seen that exact story play out before, come to think about it.
So he divorced, and Kamapua changed himself into a fish. This fish is called...
Come on. I know the name. I really want to see if she can pronounce this, because they used to make us do it back in grade school in Hawaii.
Humu nuku nuku apua.
Yeah! Ding 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 ding.
It has. Thank you. Huma nuku nuku apua.
Humu nuku nuku apua.
That is
it's the state fish too. Yeah.
19 letters in that word. One word, folks, by the way.
Yeah, it's one word.
19 fucking letters. That was like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's longer.
Well, they're pretty damn close. Anyway, yeah. So that fish has a super thick skin to withstand the boiling waves throughout which it had to swim out of the deep sea. The Hawaiians say that this fish has always been able to make this noise of a small grunting pig. Is that its noise?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to fucking know. You're the haole.
Oh, yeah. I've seen
I'm
them
just the
swimming.
one that married a haole, okay?
Yeah. I've
from
seen
Hawaii.
them diving before, but you don't kill them or anything. They just stay fish. Like,
Yeah. I'm sure that's
you let
like...
them go. Yeah, it's bad. It's kapu. Bring that back around.
Well, we gotta learn more shit, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're pretty. They're super pretty fish, though.
I mean, I wish divorce court could be more exciting like this.
No,
You know
like
what
I
I
said,
mean?
I've seen if you replace lava with things
I want
around
to
the
see
house.
the
and-
X-Men divorce court.
Jesus.
That would be amazing. That would be what this is like, man. All right. I think, was that 2 of them?
That was 2 stories.
Do we have one more?
Yeah, we got time for one more if you want to do one more.
All right, this one's a little bit longer, but still short stories because that's how y'all do it. So this one's called The Legend of Keanahaki and the Fish. Many years ago in, Namakalele, Kaleli, which means the flying eyes, was a married couple, Keawe and his wife, Keanahaki. They lived happily on a small plot of land in Moanalua Valley on Oahu. Keawe was a very busy man. Every day he went to the mountains to cut wood and gather plants to forage. When he was done, he would hurry home and deposit the wood and food, and then he would rush to the ocean to fish. His days were always filled this way, and he had little time for his family, which was steadily increasing.
It's just throwing it down. 0 pullout game.
Mm-hmm. After their 6th child was born.
Damn!
It's not that many
I
back in
know.
the day.
But he's just getting
They
started.
were just started, yeah.
Yeah.
Keanahaki decided that her husband should not be away for so long every day. She told him to continue his chores in the mountains, and she will go to the ocean to fish. Keawe agreed and went to the mountains as usual, and Keanahaki went down to the sea. What Keawe didn't know was that his wife was not like other women. She has strange and unusual powers.
Uh-oh.
X-Men.
Superpowers coming out. Got that mana.
When Keanahaki got to the shore, she began to chant and telling her right eye to fly out to the sea and bring back a certain fish, and for her left eye to fly off in another direction and bring back a different type of fish. She stood there on the shore, eyeless, for quite some time, and then she called to her eyes to return to her, and her eyes came fluttering back, both carrying a crap ton of fish.
Jesus, how does the eyes carry fish?
I don't know.
Telekinesis.
Shit, man.
Telekinesis!
At first, Keanahaki divided the fish into portions for her husband, her children, and then herself. But she felt hungry, and so she ate her portion right there. But greed overtook her, and she continued to eat until only one fish remained.
Jesus.
Just raw, man.
Just eating it
fucking
raw.
Eat it whole.
I
like a
like it raw.
chicken wing or some shit.
Jesus, a whole pile of fish. Maybe they were just small fish, though.
I don't know.
Do they say the 3 types?
No, that was 2 types.
2 types. Oh, yeah, 2 types.
should-
She only has 2 eyes.
No, I didn't even mention it all. I would have written it. Because you know me, I like fucking just throwing these. And anyway, she took the last fish home, and when her husband saw the small catch, he was disappointed.
Rah.
Keawe asked his wife if this was all she was able to catch, and she said yes. Keawe assumed that it was her first day fishing, but things would improve with practice.
You'll get it one day, babe.
However, day after day, Keanahaki went down to the beach and returned with only one fish.
She just keeps eating it.
Yeah.
You'll get it one
She's
day,
gonna
babe.
get so
just
fat.
just keep your eyes on the prize.
Nice. And Kiawe began to become suspicious. He was positive that
Bruh.
no one could have such bad luck.
It's true.
Then one day, a friend of Kiawe told him that his wife was not normal.
Hey,
Bro, your wife.
Your wife.
She got eyes.
She's not normal, bro. I saw her standing there with no eyes.
God, what would you do if somebody told you that about
Yeah.
me? If somebody told me about you, I'd be like, what the fuck?
I would oddly have way too
No.
many questions about the eye holes.
Yeah, can you fuck it?
No, mainly just like, well, I guess it would sound like that because how the,
That's
like,
how you talk to
like,
me.
are the eyes like, if they're just popping out, like, are they even ever connected, or are they just independent creatures on their own?
I'm gonna say there's something
that, like,
like
talk
raised
to
by
the head?
wolves that they can.
Because,
You know
like,
what I
is
mean?
yeah,
They
Like,
just magically
is
reattach
the hole
back
wet?
into the socket.
is it?
Maybe the back socket's what's holding the fish.
Maybe they got arms.
I don't know.
I don't know.
little
I would
tiny
have
muscle
so
arms.
many questions. So many questions.
Oh, yeah, I fucking forgot where I'm at. That was great conversation.
And yes, one
on
of them
that.
would probably be like, did they look fuckable?
He told her that she had unusual powers and that she could send her eyes out to sea to fish, and that she always came back with so many fish. Keawe was angry and disappointed.
Then she cries and eats all of them.
He asked how he could catch his wife, and his friend told him to gather leaves from Ipu Awa Awa. It's a type of gourd with bitter pulp grown on a vine.
Oh.
Then follow his wife to the shore and catch her eyes in the leaves. So the next day, Keawe
Put something in her eye holes. Just put like a little rock in there.
just a little
See if
smiley
she
face.
notices.
Just
One
stars.
of her eyes just can't come back.
Make it lazy, just fucking hanging up to the right. That's so
Put a
fucked up.
couple of glass eyes in there. And it just looked like she's standing there with regular eyes. But she's
Just
not.
fucking maybe the
I would
pupil
keep
up
glass
and-
eyes. If I were in her situation, I would have a pair of fake eyes and I'd just pop them in. So it looks like I'm just standing there all crazy.
No, thank you. So the next day, Keawe pretended to go to the mountain
I'm just going up to the
and
mountain,
waited
babe. Good luck fishing.
and waited in hiding for his wife to leave to fish. When she did leave, he followed her, sneaking like a ninja.
Ninja.
Assassin.
Shadows.
God, I love that show. They got to the shore, and Keawe saw his wife chant, and then her eyes took off in two different directions. Keawe was astonished at what his wife could do, and he walked stealthily up behind his wife so that she could not see him, because without her eyes, she was blind. After some time,
Kauai was probably super glad also that he had never cheated on his wife. He's like, oh, she would have for sure
found
seen.
the fuck. After some time, she called her eyes back, but Keawe caught them as they flew back and carefully wrapped them in leaves.
Ninja.
I'm assuming that when he's standing behind her, he just puts the fucking leaves in front of her eyes and just catches them.
Oh,
like that.
that's so smart. I thought he was going to just stand there and like literally try to just.
That's
ninja
how
him
I
out of the air.
fucking mentally brought it into my head when I was reading it. But I don't know.
But no,
Maybe
yeah.
maybe I'm wrong.
No, I would do that too. I would also probably put something in the eye holes. Do you think she would notice?
What I can't figure out is, were the pupils not running? Can she not see from her eyeballs? Because, I mean, it says in here, without her eyes, she's blind. So the eye holes are, she can't see him having an affair anyway.
But the eye can. The eye can come back.
The eye's not
The eye can bring back a pair of panties and a dirty condom and be like, see?
Okay, that would make more sense. Okay.
Go see if he's fucking eyes.
I was like, she can't see anything. What the fuck? Okay, anyway. So he then silently gathered all the fish and takes the eyes and returns home by himself.
Oh, that's mean. She's just standing there still waiting for her eyes to come back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
I wonder if she can move around and feel stuff too while her eyes are gone.
We'll find out. Keanahaki was still standing on the shore, calling for her eyes and wondering why they did not return.
Where the fuck are my eyes?
When Kiawe reached his house, his hungry children gathered around and were proud of the large catch their father had brought home. He left them admiring the fish and went to hide his wife's eyes from her.
Dick move.
5 of the children were too preoccupied to notice, but the 6th saw him take the small package and place it on a high ledge, out of reach. In the meantime, Keanahaki had been waiting a very long time on the shore for her eyes to return and became suspicious of what had happened to them. She stumbled and groped the ground, slowly finding her way home. When she got home, her husband was out. So she asked her children if their father had returned from the mountains, but they told her that he had came back with a big catch of fish, but then left to gather more wood.
Yeah, he had skipped out on his mountain duties.
Gotta come back. So she asked them if he had come home with anything else. 5 of them told her that they didn't see anything else.
Nah, Mom.
But the one told her that she had seen her father put something small wrapped in leaves on a high shelf and directed her mother to where it was hidden. Fucking narc.
Narc.
Keanahaki patted with her hands above her head until she finally found her eyes and restored them to her eye sockets.
Eye holes.
After that day, Keanahaki still went to the beach to fish, but she always brought back home the plentiful supply of fish that her eyes caught. She was afraid of being left on the shore blind again.
Yeah. I like how, too, it makes it sound like they never even talked about it. Afterwards, like the husband got home and the wife's just sitting there with eyes like, let's not talk about it.
Well, that's how we fight.
Yeah. Let's not
You know
talk
what
about
you
it.
fucking did.
I'll bring home fish next time. Okay, I'll stop fucking that lady in the mountains. What?
Excuse me? We didn't have that kind of thing.
No. So our resources for this episode are tohawaii.com, a Hawaiian travel guide. God damn, that is the most howly resource ever.
Thank you. I married one, right?
Yeah.
They have a lot of really interesting stories.
Oh, yeah. We're going to try to do some more.
But I'd rather get in a real local.
I've got a couple of people. I don't want to shout out their names on here yet until they're and say that they're ready to come on. But I do have a couple. If you're listening from Maui, and you want to get down on this and tell us some Hawaiian mythology stories, we would love that.
That would be fantastic.
I'm going to be reaching out to a couple of you guys to see
Why don't you
about
tell
it.
us the quick story about how fucking...
No.
Oh, it only takes like a few minutes.
I know. I don't have enough shit ready now.
Oh, you had so great though.
I know.
Okay.
But I was probably just,
maybe another time.
I was making up half of it off of my...
Maybe another time.
Yeah, another time. In the future.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
Hit those buttons.
Give us some comments. Let us know what you think.
Give us feedback.
Feedback. We want feedback. We need feedback.
Give me some requests.
Feedback.
Otherwise, I'm just going to keep scouring the internet for everything.
Yep.
And finding little books.
Little books.
I like my little books.
Yeah.
They have like 400 fucking stories in one of them. I was like, Jesus.
We've got tons of fucking shit
So
to
we're
do
gonna
in
come
the
back
future.
to Italian
We're going to be doing a lot of
often.
stuff. Yeah. Well, everybody, thank you. It's been fun. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone. Nice.